Thursday. It's 8 o'clock, and I saw you doing that, so I put the show on straight away. Good evening, Adrian. How are you?
Sorry, I just had an elastic band and was having fun with it. You know, like when you put it over your head and stuff. So a bit bored.
About me, like you do with a condom.
No. Good evening, everyone. Hello, David. How are you?
I'm not bad. How are you?
Yeah, well, I had my birthday the other week, and then my wife had it
2 weeks ago. A week ago.
My wife had it a week later.
And then what happened?
And then I did all of it again and went away. Went to Sutton Hoo on Sunday in Suffolk. Well, good. I'll tell you what, if you've got kids or you're old like me and you want to go somewhere where it's nice, clean, tidy, nice walks, a lot of history, good museum, go to Sutton Hoo. It's 15 quid, but it's a really good day out. And it's National Trust. And there's things like deck chairs laying around. I'm like, can I sit on them, or am I going to get charged like 15 quid like you do in Southend? And you can sit, have something to eat. Really good, lovely weather. Stayed at a nice hotel and drank and ate. And then it's my daughter's birthday on Saturday.
No way.
So we got 3 birthdays in the same month. So is
this like called Messy April normally?
Yeah. And overdraft bank, thank you. But no, I went out to Texan on Saturday. Oh God, the weather is so dry. Is it dry up near you? Isn't it? It's not wet. It hasn't rained.
When one of our guests comes on in a moment, you'll find he's got pink
Oh
eyes
yeah,
from the dust clouds that we that we entertained.
But I went out on Saturday, and it was the ground was hard but nice, but it's just weird, really weird, really really weird. But because I got the Deus Deuce 1-1 update, which I did 7, and then the Legend updating that. So my computer was just full of bloody detectors updating, so I took those out. Had a go of Sid Perry's settings for the Legend on hammers and stuff, and that's really good.
Really?
Had a tweak with that, but yeah, and I think I'm going to go out Sunday or Monday, see what the weather's like. But yeah,
marvelous. Some of us work on bank holidays, so I think. Steve, do you give me a nod if you work on bank holiday Monday? Steve, no. I don't like Steve anymore. He's not coming on the show. I'll take the rip out of him all night now.
John Clayton's just said, isn't Sutton Hoo free if you have a National Trust membership? Yes, I think it is, but I haven't got one. I should do.
Very costly they are nowadays too.
I think they're about 70 quid. Right?
It's gone up from that.
Yeah, but it is worth it. It is worth it. And they had beer. They were selling beer and wine in the cafe, which was nice.
Nice.
So,
what was his name then? Who said that? Don't I Detectorist next week? Guess. Yes, the intro is longer than the show. Sadly, I need time to share it everywhere on Facebook. So if you are watching, do us a favour and give us a share. If you're on Facebook or Twitter or any of them other Elon Musk place.
MySpace,
yeah, of course.
But you had an interesting day on Sunday, didn't you, David?
We had a fantastic day, and tonight we're going to learn all about it. We've got some 2 videos to share tonight. One taken by my cousin's husband. It's aerial drone footage of the event, which you can see all this in Shane's video anyway, with other reports from the event. And then I compiled all the finds that were sent to us as well. So I put finds into a video because, you'll find out it was very well. You know yourself, Adrian, from what you've seen in the short term that I was sending you, was very successful. But overall, I didn't realise some of the things that were coming up. TC come back and he only found one button.
Really?
One button, but he made up for it with a big button like that big, the button, and it screws onto the end of a dagger.
Oh, nice.
I think he's had that confirmed by his flow as well. So yeah, we'll see all them later anyway.
Did he fall over at all, or was he stable?
Do you know what? We would follow him round in the drone just to find out, but he was stable. What I was going to say, Shane, you stand there behind him and I'll push him.
I think we're a bit rude because he has got a prosthetic leg. So poor old boy, he does
prosthetic legs.
No, he's only got one.
No, it's 2, mate.
Oh, is it? I thought it was only one. But you wouldn't know.
The one you think he's had one because his other one's just been the prosthetic. But he's had them both with the proper suspension put in now. So that's why you thought it was 2, because he was bit. But now they've both got this proper suspension, the hydraulics in it. He's and that's why he fell over, because the new leg that he's had fitted, he was obviously he was getting used to it. He'd only had it done about a couple of days before. That's why he went on that video. For those of you who don't know what we're on about. Prosthetic limb issue. There you go.
Bless him, poor old Tony. Fingers crossed he gets back on his feet.
Feet. Well, non-feet.
And you had Digger Dawn turn up as well.
Digger Dawn. We had Phil Fodd. We had Ricardo Lees. We had John 316. These are all obviously YouTubers and whatnot. Who else? Graham Dempsey made a long trip from Aylesbury. Paul from McGrafton come all the way down from Yorkshire, as did TC. Digger Dawn from Rochdale. So, quite a distance. And then, to top them all, one of Luke's friends from down in Brighton, Graham Stokes. He come all the way from Brighton, oddly.
Wow.
But he was happy because he came away with a Roman knife handle and a Roman arrowhead, plus lots of other nice bits and bobs. And then I think we'll talk about the little item he found that none of us can identify a little bit later on, because I was quite astounded by it, what it actually was. So we'll speak about it. Anyway, I'll bring our guests on. So tonight we're obviously my friend Steve and Shane, a Staffordshire researcher who I organised the event with, the Big Detective Show rally this weekend, and Steve, who Steve and Shane, it's actually their permission that we've done the dig on. So they're going to tell you a little bit of brief about why we were looking at the site, and then obviously we'll discuss all about it and whatnot. So without further ado, I was trying to get Steve while he was drinking then. Good evening, Shane. Good evening, Steve.
Good evening.
Good evening, Bruce. How are you? You all right?
Simply lovely.
Good.
Lovely.
Good.
Well, I'm going to let Adrian ask questions tonight because I was there, so I know what happened.
Right.
Get Steve to introduce himself first.
Steve, why don't you introduce yourself first?
That's a good idea.
I'm Steve. Go detecting with Shane. We've shared quite a few permissions with each other, but the one we did the dig on is pretty special, as Dave knows. We've found some quite nice things on there. Been detecting for about 10 years. Started, it's about 2012. Just love the hobby. Absolutely love it.
He does have an
on YouTube.
He does have an appalling sense in clothes, though, Adrian.
Yeah, I know. I've just remembered.
Yeah.
We won't raise that, but yeah.
No.
So, Steve, how did you meet Shane detecting?
It was through Ron, a mutual friend. Ron was talking to him on Facebook, and he invited him on one of Ron's permissions. And we just hit it off, didn't we, Shane? It was, straight away, good friends and stuff ever since, really. And that's how we met.
And what got you into detecting, Shane? Was it you've always wanted to do it? Or?
Steve, not Shane, Steve.
Steve, sorry. It's got an S.
What got me into it was my mate. He suffered with mental health, and he was going through a really bad patch. And I went down his house, tried to get him out. He wasn't leaving the house at all, so I just tried to get him out of the house. And I noticed his metal detector in the corner. I said, how come you don't use that no more? He said, I've got no one to go with. I just said, come on, let's go. So we went, and by the end of the day, he just couldn't get it out of my hands. I loved it. Absolutely fell in love with it on that day, and that's what got me into it. And I came home that day and brought Euroace, Garrett Euroace, and pinpointed. Wife went mad with me like, but it's just helped me mate out, you know what I mean? And I've done it ever since then. I absolutely love it. I really do.
Does your mate still detect, or?
He's sadly passed away. He was an heavy drinker, and things caught up with him in the end. He passed away early last year. He did. Bless him, yeah. But he'd have died a lot sooner if we hadn't done what we'd had done for him, like get him out of the house. Because it did help him. It was just the last 3 years, nothing was getting him out of the house. You know what I mean? Only drink. You know what I mean? So I do like to do things for people with mental health and everything. Support charities and stuff. I think it's a big thing, and I think everyone should recognise it. I really do.
Yeah, it's a very interesting point because I don't think I told you this, Dave. I was interviewed by a magazine last week, a common magazine in our area, and the woman interviewed me was like, "Oh, how much money do you make, and how much gold do you find?" And I said, "Well, it's not actually all about that." I said, "You're out in the countryside and you switch off," and I said, "It's been proven, and there is research. I've read it." That it does help your mental health, university studies. And she's like, "Oh, never thought of that." And I was like, "Yeah." And she said, "Oh, so what? It can help people." And I said, "Yeah, Essex County Council, the council where I live, up until budget cuts and stuff, they used to regularly take 20 people out on the local beach with detectors from one of the manufacturers. and help them, like you say, get out. Just get out and do something. And some people didn't take to the hobby, and some did. But some people somewhere, I reckon, it's probably saved their lives because it gives you a drive and a passion to do something. And then she was going on about all the other things about, I said about charities. I said, it makes a lot of money for charity. And she said, really? And I said, yeah. I said, but you'll only hear in the news about the bloke who's been night hawking, or the bloke who's arguing because he wants 50 grand for his ring and not 10. I said, I mentioned Rodney Cook, like 50 grand in 2.5 days. And it's true. People don't quite see the sides we see to the hobby. Definitely.
Yeah, I agree with
Steve Pettican asks, the magazine, was it the big issue?
No, it was Razzle. Those who are mature readers will understand. No, it was, I forgot what it was, but it was a nice one. I forgot what it was. But it was, yeah, it's about £5 a copy. So it's, it was, I can't remember what it was. But yeah, anyway.
Everything's expensive up your way, though. So it could have been what? The Beano by us, something like that.
Well, I reckon the Beano's, that'd be interesting how much the Beano is. Quiz question that. Someone's Googling it.
Phil Wells, how much is the Beano?
Grim Bleeper Escort. Oh dear. I've got a story about that, but I'll say it another day. Escort and Fiesta, girl I know. She went for a job, and her dad thought she was going to work for a car magazine. But it's honest truth. And he went in the WH Smith's to ask to buy a copy, and they said it's on the top shelf. And he went, why? And they told her, and she went, my daughter's gone there for an interview as a graphic designer. But anyway, Steve, is this the first time you've been involved in a day dig, like with Shane and that?
Yeah, actually being like a marshal and stuff like that. Yeah, I've been on day digs before, but had nothing to do with the setup of it and everything. Yeah, it's his first time. Really enjoyed it.
Because I spoke to Shane just before the show, and he was quite pleased how well it went. And hats off to you guys, because it can go all pear-shaped. But from all the sound of things, everyone had a really good day. Dave done a raffle out the boot of his car. And people, like Dave said, if we can see the footage shortly, I first saw that video and I thought someone had turned up selling a load of, like, a boot sale. Some bloke had just seen a load of people there and pulled up, but it wasn't. It was Dave. And it was doing it all for charity, the raffle, wasn't it, Dave?
Do it properly. Say it properly.
What, the raffle for charity?
Do it all for charity.
Charity. Yeah, charity. Yes. But yeah, did you get any detecting in, Steve?
Did you notice then?
Yeah.
He's a Cockney and he can't even do a Cockney accent.
I'm not. No, what's his name? Charity. He's not a Cockney, is he?
I was joking, mate.
Oh God. Did you get any detecting in, Steve?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I didn't find out that, but yeah, thought I found the sword pommel. It turned out to be a drawer handle.
Yeah, we've got.
Yeah.
Mine's covered up with
a
silly sticker thing. I don't know why have I got a sticker on there, Dave?
Because go on, carry on talking.
Because he likes blanking people out. And what machine do you use, Steve? Now?
Equinox 800. Love it. Absolutely love it.
You do?
Yeah, brilliant. But saying that, the reason most probably like it is because the only other two machines I've ever had is the Garrett Euro Ace and they had the Garrett 400i, which both of them I thought were fantastic machines for the money. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And to be honest, when I got the Equinox, I didn't like it. I actually took the 400i out. The second time I went out after I got the Equinox, just took the 400i out with me. Because I just couldn't get used to it, and then in the end I thought, no, I've got to do it. I've spent all this money, and I persevered with it, and put some Sid Perry's programs in, and then I just started finding stuff and fell in love with it. Then really did.
And have you got just a standard coil on it?
Yeah, I've got the 15-inch, and I've got the standard 11-inch. I'd like to get the 6-inch, to be honest.
What, standard shaft?
Yeah, standard shaft. Yeah.
A 6-inch shaft, did you say then?
No,
Well,
6-inch
shaft. It's a shaft.
Sorry.
I'd be lucky.
And is that one of the reasons you think Shane's got an Equinox now? Because he saw you pulling more stuff out than him?
To be honest, Shane was pulling a lot of stuff out. It's just, I think...
Shane stopped pulling stuff out when he gave it me.
He was, yeah. But I think I was just getting slightly deeper once to Shane. And on some of the land, you know, well, yeah. He's filthy, isn't he? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know whether it was because I was getting more stuff or just getting deeper stuff. I don't know really, because he was getting a lot of stuff with that. I love a lot of stuff.
Well, yeah, the Vanquish is it's a good. The 540 for the money is a cracking machine. It's really is good. Yeah,
and I'll tell you something now. We're on a permission, me and Shane were, and he said, "Steve, run the Equinox over this," and he'd got the Vanquish, and the Equinox wasn't picking it up, and it was that ring. Remember, Shane?
Yeah, that what we thought was the Roman thing.
Yeah, and he was getting a lovely sound, and the Equinox nothing at all.
Yeah,
Trying different settings.
The coil tech on then.
Well, yeah. True.
The coil tech wouldn't pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do sometimes think, and I say it a lot, that you can't do much with a Vanquish, as in change a lot of the settings. What's he laughing at now? And sometimes people do change things and make things worse. So, yeah. What's he doing?
It won't show up. Where is it?
No, I can't see it. Don't show him, he's spoiling it.
Look at Dave. Oh!
look at Adrian's top right, Steve.
Talk about PR.
I enjoyed that.
Dave, I do hope your kids go on your computer tomorrow. Oh, Dad's looking at getting a new car. Oh, Fiesta. Oh dear, we go on. Shane, it's the first time you've organised something like this with Dave and Steve. How did you find it went?
Relatively easy, to be fair, but the beginning was a bit chaotic. I wasn't the biggest fan of parking the people that came in, and like in fleets, you'd get like one person turned up really early, and then all of a sudden 10 turned up, and then another 10 turned up, and you're trying to park them. They're throwing money at you, and you're like, well, just let me come back here after. Let me park these cars first, because there's old foundations and so on the land, so I didn't want them beaching the cars and things. But to be fair, Ben did step up big time after I parked the first few, and Ben started to help in. He was taking money, he was giving wristbands, he majorly helped me at the very beginning. Once that had ended, obviously Dave ran the raffle, and I had a bit of a detect, but I think as kind of organising a dig, I kept getting collared as well. I kept getting spoken to. So there wasn't much detecting for myself, because I'd end up in a 40-minute conversation with somebody. And then when I did finally get detecting, Paul at the Grafter turned up. So we went over together, and then we ended up partying again, and I ended up having to go back towards where the stall was. So I was just running around a lot, really, and I was absolutely knackered by the time we finished it.
Did you struggle dealing with the car parking?
No, I think we would have done if everyone turned up, but we had just enough for the car parking. It kind of.
I think we probably could have got about another 10 cars in there, really.
Yeah.
But you know, the people didn't turn up who said they were going to.
You can ask a door, and she nearly took a bumper off, so I had to go over.
The only reason I say that, Shane, is things that trigger people. So something that triggers me is when someone's got their detector in the field and they're swinging it like that, like a pendulum, missing everything. You're a driving instructor. Do you sit there thinking, no, not got the biting point right? Oh, look in your mirrors. Did that trigger you? Does that trigger you as a driving instructor?
Yeah,
I thought it would.
It's worse if you have. We haven't been able to do it for about 2 years because of COVID. But when you sit in the back of a test and you're kind of grinding your teeth, thinking, just check your mirrors, And you can see them not checking, the examiners looking at them funny, and you're thinking, just check the mirrors. And they're not still.
I've just thought of something, Dave. Detector and Rodney Kirk, we could get Shane some like mirrors, like they put on Vespers. We could get him on his detector so he can keep an eye behind him when he's detecting.
Or I can get him some table tennis bats, and then next time we're doing any events, he can do all that.
You can have a lap with my car, Adrian. If I drive down, I'll jump in the passenger side, I'll do the gears and the pedals and the brake, and you do the others.
Well, yeah. Well,
it's interesting when you try that.
Do you teach people to drive fast or just drive normally?
There's a medium.
He doesn't like to be a passenger, does he, Steve?
No, definitely not. I don't like him being my passenger. I feel like he's always testing me. Go round and roundabout, you'd have failed there. What do you mean?
I wish we'd have gone to Birmingham and I had been his fucking passenger.
Steve, when Shane's in a car with you, does he keep reaching over trying to put his hand on your knob?
Yeah, something do while I'm driving though.
Yeah, I bet he's always trying to get hold of it.
I have a funny story about that actually.
Whoa! We've talked about Fiesta a little bit too much now.
Shane, lower the tone or what?
Did you know what a quality program we are?
Yeah. Oh, God,
scripted
Shane.
And everything.
Have we got, David, pictures of the finds?
We have got 2 videos tonight. I'm going to play the first one in a moment, and we'll play the second one a little bit later on. And the first one, it's done by my cousin's husband, Paul Reeves, and he's done a rather nice aerial video. He's brought his drone along. So it's a 4-minute video. Sit back, relax, and take in the view. There you go. Fantastic. And I must say that drone footage would have been far superior quality, but we had to dabble a little bit because we couldn't download it, could we, Shane?
Why have you got McGrafter hats?
Little present off Paul. Not just McGrafter hats, McGrafter peak caps.
Oh, I want one of them.
How jealous is Luke going to be?
Me and Steve were just talking about me and Steve.
Mate,
yeah, we're
I
just
never
talking
got
about
one.
ourselves.
Yeah, I never got one, mate.
I'll tell you one thing that drone footage has told me personally. I've been on about it for ages and ages, haven't it, Shane? I need to pick one up simply to survey a site because there's so many things you can find. I mean, some of the other bits that are unseen, looking at other areas that we'd asked for him to look at, have exposed some interesting features, let's say.
Yeah, I think I want one, but I can't justify it because if I want to buy one, it will be like an expensive one. Actually, my mate James, he's got a very, very, very expensive one, but he's always panicking about because we detect near an airport and they've got something built into them that you can't take off if there's a plane or something in an airspace. But they are amazing. I would love one, but that's nice. The reason I like that footage, and this is nothing horrible against other detecting events and things, sometimes they're a little bit overly edited, one should say. I just like looking at it as if a bird would see it. I mean, I was just laughing because if someone walked in now or walked past, looked through the window, said that bloke's just looking at fields. But it's what excites us in the hobby, isn't it? I look at that and I just think, oh my god, I wish I was there now. Really,
he did have a bit of a problem on one field in particular. It was so windy up there that the drone decided to just do what it wants, and he had to put it on sport mode and waz it back quick because he needed to get it back because it was about to disappear into the ethos, let's say.
Tidy Treasure Hunters just put, I need one just to look in next door's bedroom. I bet some weirdos have done that.
I'm going to send you a song, Adrian. It's by you know that band that I listen to from Essex called. He had a number 5 in the charts with Boris Johnson as a name him Sausage Roll. Boris Johnson, that person. Well, his best mate Mike, he'd done an album as well, and there's a song on it called "When I'm Flying My Drone," which I think you personally will appreciate.
Yeah, I'm just thinking now what you could do with the drone. But anyway,
you'll know it all after that.
You made a bit of money for charity at the weekend.
Yeah, we did. It was more because the landowner has had a scare and had to have, I can't think of the actual words for the procedure, but she's had to have hers removed. So we thought it was suiting that we donate it to a local charity that supports people on that side of it. And I went to donated it 2 days ago.
And Dave said she was almost in tears, thankful. Yeah, that's what it's all about, isn't it? We have fun and make money for charity. And Steve, those fields that's the permission you and Shane go on occasionally, I presume.
Yeah,
that looked very nice. Was it nice to detect on? It looks lovely.
It's hard work, mate. It really is hard work. The actual fields what we detect on, me and Shane haven't detected before, because every time we went up, they got crop on. We've just done little bits. The actual field we detected on, it was. If we got somewhere else go at the time, I think we'd have just walked off. And we were like on the verge of walking off at one point until certain things come up, some nice things. So that's what made us stay. Like I say, some nice finds have come off there.
Yeah. Talking of finds, you've been detecting for 10 years, Steve.
Yeah.
You've obviously found a lot of things. What is something you haven't found that you're still desperate on your bucket list?
I haven't found gold. I haven't. Look at him here. Look at him showing that ring. I haven't found gold, and I'd love find gold. But if I was going to find gold, I'd love find a gold hammered. Absolute love find a gold hammered. I really would.
Yeah.
More so than a ring or anything like that. I
Really?
would. Like a gold noble. I'd love that. Yeah, I would. I love me hammered coins. I do.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Hammers, do love them.
Yeah.
What is your best find that you feel, not value or your favourite find?
My favourite find, I love Edward III groats. I've got 3 of them. I found 3 of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
One of them when I was with him. Good luck, John,
he was
man.
with me, yeah.
You found an hammered?
Yeah, because you didn't, did you, Shane?
No, because someone had my bank.
Yeah, they're lovely. But like I say, the most exciting was one with Shane, the Roman Denaris we found, part of the hoard. Really nice.
He's a lucky sod, though. One of his was sunbathing, plus one of his fibs was sunbathing. And he still, and I walked straight past them and never got them. And then he picked them up.
Yeah, but you done the same with a cannonet ball with me.
Yeah, true. How often do you get out, Steve?
As much as I can. I try to get out at least once a week. But if we've got like a free weekend, I'll do Friday afternoon, Saturday and Sunday. But like, because I've got a grandson now, it's getting harder. It's getting harder. I will say this: if I do get disturbed, it'll be the grandson. Don't leave me alone.
Yeah, bit like Shane, really.
Yeah.
What's your wife think of you detecting? Does she think you're mad, or your family?
Calls me an Ararak.
Yeah.
At first, she couldn't get it because I do a lot of carp fishing as well, and she just said it's just another excuse so you haven't got to spend time with me. And it's not like that. I work in a factory. I work indoors. I just need. Well, yeah, it is, but I just need to get out in the fresh air. I love fresh air, like so.
Yeah, it's weird how fishing and detecting are like intertwined, aren't they?
Yeah,
it's like that hunting.
It's the clothing, I think.
It's the clothing, yeah.
It's dearer. Would you say fishing is dearer than detecting?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. To replace the carp gear I've got now, I'd need at least 12 grand, easy. Yeah, me rods, each rod I've got, me rods, they 500 quid each. Me reels are 300 quid each. Me bite alarms are like 800 quid.
Why do you need a bite alarm? Isn't that like taking the fun out of fishing?
Because when you've had loads of that, Dave, you fall asleep.
Sorry, did you say? Sorry, Dave.
No, you first.
Sorry, Steve. Did you say 12 grand?
Yeah, easy. Yeah, me bait boat was 1,200 quid. I've got a bait boat. Me bed chair's like 500 quid. Me bevy's 500 quid, and you just like me rod pod. That's a couple hundred quid.
For a bevy down in Essex, it's about 500 quid as well.
Don't get me wrong, Aid. I didn't buy it all at once. You get it, over the years.
Yeah, it's an addiction, isn't it?
How much? Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff you don't need. You're just being a tattle talk, what they call tattle talk. You know what I mean? Look what I've got. Someone else has got it. You've got to get it, kind of thing.
That sounds like most metal detectorists, then.
Yeah.
Do you think with fishing, Steve, like detecting, some of it is just luck?
Definitely, mate. Yeah, definitely. And you have like fishing. You'll have your dry periods. Like I'll go fishing. About like last year, I didn't have a very good year yet. Last year, but the year before that, I had 3 40s, 40 pounders. I had how many 30s? It was totally different.
Is that like a gold noble or a ring?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You once you get into the 40s, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
My biggest fish is 47. That's on my profile picture. That is.
£47.
Pound, yeah.
I won one at the fair. That was quite good.
It's weird. Did you ever shoot, Steve?
Yeah, I've done shooting. I've got guns. Yeah, I've got guns. But it's like my lads does it like loads, but I can't do it anymore now.
Did you ever shoot blank, Steve?
I wish I did sometimes, Dave. There's definitely times I wish it did.
Adrian, how did you not get that one in then?
I don't know. I'm just looking at Shane in that hat. He looks like someone from Erasure or Bronson.
Frank Spencer. Frank Spencer. Say oh Betty for me, Shane. Say oh Betty.
Oh Betty.
There you go.
Jessica's done a whoopsie.
Shane probably doesn't have a clue what we're going on about.
No, he doesn't.
Baby.
No.
He's gonna come off the show tonight. Google Fiesta Car Magazine, Escort, and Razzle, and then he's gonna Google Frank Spencer. God, it's going to be interesting history. I think the only reason I say that is so many people detect, fish, and shoot. It's all like part of the outside countryside hunting thing.
Yeah,
but how long have you been fishing out of interest compared to detecting?
I started fishing when I was 8. My dad used to take me out when I was about 7 or 8. But I didn't get into carp fishing until I was 18. I'm 50 now, so it's been a few years.
Well, join the club. Yeah, I hit 50 the other week. Yeah.
Did you, Pete?
Oh, you look like twins and everything.
Yeah. So you've got the Equinox at the moment, Steve.
Yeah.
It's all kicking off out there at the moment. You've got the Deus 2, you've got the Legend, and there's talk of new machines from Mine Lab on the horizon potentially later on this year. Would you upgrade, or are you looking at upgrading, or are you just going to keep your Nox?
At the moment, just keep my Nox. I'm happy with it. It's doing everything I require at the moment, so I can't see any reason to upgrade at the moment.
If you weren't...
If it exhausted the land with that and I wasn't getting any more signals, then someone come on with a better machine and started getting signals, then I'd most probably think, I'd upgrade. I would. But I think there's things you can do, like my 15-inch coil, you get like an extra inch depth, sometimes 2 inch, depending on how wet the ground is with the... there's things you can do with your machine, isn't there?
So what you're saying is you get an extra 2 inches if it's
when
moist.
It's wet, yeah.
Just to extend your shaft. Have you pimped your machine up, Steve, like Shane has? Shane's looks like he's had it for 30 years, the amount of gear on it. How is Shane? Look. It's like a...
It is, yeah.
It's like a Mark III Cortina in 1979. He's put every single thing you can put on it. It's got the Telenox.
Mine's all original, man. Is other than I've got the coil strengthener. That's it.
You've got the original coil still.
Yeah. It's never broke on me. I've had it 18 months the machine. Well, no, I've had it 2 years now. Sorry. Yeah. So
I've had 2 coils snap on my Equinox. But
have you?
Yeah.
Shane's even got an RKD mag Staffordshire Searcher sticker. What they called on your screen protector. Available for £5 from all good stockists.
Show us, Shane.
I'm actually showing you with my arrow on my screen now and realising you can't see the arrow on my screen.
No.
Seeing the reflection.
Oh, that's scary. I was going to ask you a question, Shane, about your Equinox. Scotty B has got his control box folding. Can you show us that from Detecting Innovations? Dave's going to say something about that.
Adrian sent some packages to myself and Scotty B last week. I got some stickers, which is very nice, the Big Detective Show stickers. And they were sent to me at Hats for Cats. Was mine. And then Scotty B was sent to Adult Latex Products.
No. It's latex fashions for men.
Oh, right.
And I want to know if Scotty's watching what his postman thinks he's now got involved in. But yeah, sorry, Shane. Show us how easy that is. Look, just unscrew your shaft.
Fodder my Big Life stickers on my McGrath shaft.
Yeah. And
that's meant, isn't it?
I always find it better to put under the Velcro as well, so it keeps it secure.
Yeah, and it's a very simple basic thing that looks like you're putting a hose on in the garden, but it works, doesn't it, Shane?
Yeah.
It's really, really handy. So, yeah.
Well,
But you've not got anything like that, Steve. Yours is still.
No. I've just au natural, man. Has.
Yeah.
Like I say, I've just got the coil strengthener. That's it. That's all I've got.
I think that's a definite. I recommend that to
it's
anyone.
a must. Yeah, it is a must. Yeah.
And leave the lugs a little bit loose. Don't go mad with the lugs on it.
Yeah. We do have some a little bit of news, Adrian. There may be coming soon, because I think we've had so much good feedback from the weekend, and we have been in negotiations. Well, not negotiations, discussions with. There's something occurred locally which needs money raising for, and we've been in discussions with them, and we have some land popped up, and we may be doing a full-on charity rally where all the money goes to this particular fund. Not going to give anything away because it's not 100% yet, and we might also have a big detecting show number 2 rally planned, if not more, haven't we, Shane?
Yeah.
And I think all good. I think I need to do something down south. I've got potential for that.
Detected south.
Yeah, it'd be massive, bigger than the northern one, and it'd make probably 1.2 million, and like half a dozen people to find gold nobles. Oh god, it'd be crazy.
How far away are you from Suffolk?
About an hour, if that.
I'm going down to Suffolk in July for a week.
What, on holiday?
Yeah.
I'll come and join you with my detector and ruin it. We can go out. Is that your housing manager?
I think so, yeah. She's in the kitchen, though. She's doing a good job.
I'll tell you what, it's in Suffolk, Cambridge, Essex border. Yeah, Rife.
Oh. Looks like Ken from Adventures in Dirt from America will be coming over to Plymouth soon.
Oh, Plymouth.
Host of Relics Radio.
You let us
Sadly,
know.
Do you know what? I'd say that's miles away. But in relation to how far Americans drive for a dig, it's 10 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think, someone's put housing manager laughing. There's a very interesting fact. When I went to Sutton Hoo last week, we were reading in the museum there all the bits and bobs, and women in medieval times were deemed as very high in the household. Not that they're not now. And they managed the household. They managed the finances. They managed issues with neighbours. They managed the men and their jobs. And they were also a go-to person for advice and planning. And I read that and I thought, we've gone in circles, haven't we? Because you had years ago sexism and women not being paid the same as men. Yet in medieval times, women were deemed as very high priority. Not that they're not today, but it was interesting, and they were showing all the stuff. And you know that fossil I've got, Dave, in the shape of a heart that's been scratched in the back. Yeah. What's it called? A sea urchin thing on it. There's a picture of a woman putting one of those in her wife's grave. My wife went, "That's what you found." I went, "Yeah." She went, "Has it been with dead body?" I went, "Yeah," because it was deemed as sort of magical, wasn't it, or keep spirits away. And it was really good at Sutton Hoo. But it's interesting if you go there how it was a really good time to live. I think really good time. I'd like to go back. I'd like to have grown in the 50s, lived in the 50s when you could like drink and smoke all everywhere whenever you want and everything was nice. But medieval times, it's looking tempting. Might go back when I'm reincarnated. Very interesting.
And you'll find out that the southern mead was shit in comparison to the northern mead.
Well, no, because there was no one up north. No one went there in medieval times. It was empty. Whatever you read, because you only got electricity in what, 69? gas in 72. So 1972, I'm talking about. Yeah, so I suppose quite interesting. I'm being hammered here. You're all from up there, so.
Read the screen. That's Phil Fodder, that is. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Has anyone got a spade for Adrian to dig himself out? Adrian, here's a spade.
I'm not going to. Dave, we all know. All right, we're going to have to tell this story because it's going to come out. It's only known between a group of us. We were at the Rodney Cook rally was it last year? Yeah, last year. And we'd been drinking, and it was about 6 o'clock in the evening.
Some of us more than others.
Yeah. And James. And I said to Dave, what is that bloke doing over there? He's dressed up as a, how do I put this politically?
Arab?
Yeah, something like those. And I said, oh, he's just going around, look, putting his leg in front of people. I said, he's begging. And Dave went, no, I don't think he is. And I said, he is, he's begging. He's begging for money. I said, that is out of order. At a charity metal detecting event, he's trying to get himself money. Well, Phil came over to us, didn't he, Dave? And in my head, he was just trying to make a few. I didn't know who he was or whatever. I thought he was trying to make a few quid for himself. He wasn't. He was raising money for the Rodney Cook Cancer Charity. But I didn't know that. I just thought he was drunk and being silly. So I think I fronted up to Phil, didn't I? And sort of told him to go away politely.
No, I picked you up and carried you away gently.
Yes, you did. And so I do apologise. And as you no doubt know, I do a lot for Rodney Cook, and I admire it. And I think you do a fantastic job. But yeah, there was a slight confusion there. I think my sugar levels were low, and I drank too much.
Rodney Cook, Fodder versus Gala.
Yeah, what in a dance off or?
We'll have a metal detector off.
Buy them big Zorbs and they can run into each
other. Oh God! No.
Oh, we'll get some inflatable fat suits.
We could have a banter off.
I think Phil's actually quite refined and genteel, to be honest.
Well, I am. I just drunk too much. I'd had a bottle of sherry and a bottle of Advocard and probably some After Eight mints or something crazy.
The only time I've ever seen Adrian drinking was red wine, and he was holding it like this with the big glass coming through the middle of his finger.
It's the only way to hold it. Have you never noticed when I drink, I put my finger up?
But yeah, no, it was funny, and I'll tell you what, I'm bloody excited about Rodney Cook this year. It's going to be good. There's a lot.
And do you know what, Adrian? Do you know what? Every person on this screen at the moment will be there.
Yeah,
definitely. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I don't know which way you go on this.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do now. Let's have a look at the fines from the weekend. So there you go.
Nice. Well done,
We
David.
had Roman coins, we had hammered coins, we had silver Roman denarius, we had Roman fibula with silver enameling still on, we had Roman arrowhead, Roman knife handle, TC. I had a dagger pommel. Steve didn't have a sword pommel.
No.
We had medieval hammered coins. We had all sorts of artifacts and silver thimbles. There was even a piece of silver on there of something of an eye of TC's on. But everybody was picking something up. Even the guy who done the drone footage, my cousin's husband, he had to go. I said, you go out with this. Give him the Fisher F2 that I bought a couple of weeks ago. And he went out with that and he was picking stuff up.
Yeah.
He'd never metal detected it before in his life. He didn't have a clue what he was doing, but he was finding they weren't, things at great shakes, but he was finding stuff. So there you go.
Can I just say that anyone that found Roman, please declare them, because that's the whole point of the dig in the first place. So just please declare them to your flow. Even if you feel like you're never going to get them back, which is happening at the minute, I understand. But please do declare them, because we are trying to put that place on the map. That's the whole point of that dig.
So that land again, could there be another dig on there potentially?
Yeah, we could easily do another one. They've got barley on at the minute, so they've split the fields into 4. It's about 400 acres. There's different size fields, but the one where the Roman stuff, what me and Steve found the Horde, that in particular is the biggest field. Most of the stuff has come up in like a 20 meter by 50 meters area, but with it having barley on for the first time, we're going to have quite low sticks, so it's going to be quite a nice back to it, put it that way. And the fact that everything that come off Daenerys and Roman wise, other than that big fib at the very end on the other field, has come up within the area where we fought. So it kind of all suits.
It was fantastic as well to be able to be on the site and get an idea, like Shane's just saying, where the Roman finds were. We were also able to identify a hotspot for where the fibula, the medieval hammered coin, we were able to identify certain areas there too, weren't we?
Yeah. So one thing, if we do another dig on it, we can give out a lot more sort of subtle hints to send people to them directions.
I mean, where they were area in particular, there's another field which, therefore, relatively speaking, might have some not dissimilar finds of consequence there as well.
Well, there's a field we've never even been on. None of us ever have walked over about a 35-acre field, so that should be quite good.
Mr. Fodder said the Scott recorded his denari on Tuesday.
Oh, brilliant.
So, yeah, we there will be another in some capacity. The next one might not be as big because we're limited by parking and acreage, but there is a potential that Shane's been dealing with something similar size, if not a little bit bigger.
And I reckon that land has never, ever been detected on, Dave.
We just don't know.
No, but I think based on the... Well, you don't know, but yeah, you don't know. Sorry, I keep going because my dog's got awful wind and I don't know...
His dog, he said.
No, it is the dog. If Gary Blackwell was on here tonight or watching, I'd like to know, do puppies teeth? You know, like when babies are teething, they have the runs.
Well.
Yeah, they do.
They do,
Yeah,
Steve.
That's why they chew everything. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
lose the teeth
do they-
sometimes.
They do. And the teeth will fall out, and then the adult teeth will come.
That's happening at the moment. But does it give
Yeah,
them
yeah.
wind? Do they have wind? Like,
That's the leather
don't know.
upholstery that gives them wind.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
yeah, guys,
My
I can
aunt
deal
got chewed
with a
through
Trump,
wall.
but that.
She hasn't tried chewing your shaft, does she?
She did actually. The Dark Knight Detectorist, who's on next week, I'm sending him the Detecting Innovations carbon fibre shaft for his machine. It's been about a month, but I've got to get round to it. And she got her teeth right round my shaft and was proper gnawing it, or his shaft. And I luckily got it off her. So I'll post it actually tomorrow. I'll try and post it tomorrow. It's an awkward thing though, because the shafts are quite long in size, so they're an awkward thing to post. Whereas like Scotty B's latex shoes, I sent him, well, like sort of heeled shoes, they were quite cheap. But yeah. Oh, hang on, give them outstanding. Yeah, give them a carrot and stick in the freezer. Then give the dog works. Frozen carrot. That's a good call.
He's obviously tried them on himself because he's
Mm.
just out. He's just out the teething stage.
Yeah.
And don't forget his shoes were tiny shoes as well.
Yeah, tax VAT free under size 5, aren't they?
There you go, Scotty.
Yes, why children's shoes are cheaper because you don't pay that much.
Gareth Howard said that Adrian puts potted beef on his shaft to encourage.
Well, there was a bit of Marmite on it. Yeah. Steve Newman. Is Steve Newman there? Someone's put Steve Newman. Hey, Stevie. I'm going there tomorrow. Anyone who's part of that lot, you've not heard of them. Steve Newman, you know who he is, don't you, Dave?
I know Steve Newman. Yes, lovely bloke.
I'm going to his club.
He's a gentleman. I'd like to sit down for about half an hour and just tell me stuff, just anything.
Yes. Steve and Shane. Steve Newman has been detecting for like 40 years, and he's got some really interesting stories. And he runs the local club near me, and I'm going there tomorrow night, so I'm looking forward to it. I think he's there. I'm not sure. I'm watching. Yeah.
You certainly would never even entertain the thought of fighting him either, ever.
No, and
kill you.
He's probably the only person I've seen with a metal detector, a Roman helmet, naked in the field. But that's Steve. So he takes the hobby to another level. So, Dave, should we do a bit of coil spinach?
Certainly. Keith Ellis asked, what did I do with the 10,000 stickers I cut up? They're probably still on the table because people were abusing me for the badly cut stickers.
Well, you could have just, Dave, the way to do it is peel it off and stick it on them, not give them the sticker, because then it will end up in their pants and sock drawer and they'll never use it.
Yeah, but if you stick it on them, they're just going to like peel it off.
Put it on the
drop
detector.
It on the
You said you want to put it on their shaft.
But have you seen the size of the Arkham DMAG stickers? Like, they'd cover your box.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
Have you checked the back of your car recently, Dave?
Have I done what?
Check the back of your car.
Yeah, a sticker on it.
It's what?
A McGrafter sticker on it. What, is there more than a McGrafter sticker on it?
We were waiting for you to click in.
Oh, he's drawn
I don't know.
We
just cover them from all I like. Cover me car in stickers. Be quite. If you can get over the
right.
Turret.
Let's get this coil up, Dave. Or do you want me to do it?
I'm doing it. I'm already on it.
Steve, do you know about spin the coil?
Say it properly.
Yes.
Spin the coil.
Spin the coil.
Oh.
Here he is. Here's spin the coil. Right, let me just get this right. There it is. There it is. Right, Stephen. First question. Can Dave burn your jumper?
Yeah. Yeah, I know that's coming.
Wow, that's a fair question.
What was your first computer, Steve?
It was a Spectrum.
48K.
Tell a lie. It was a Commodore 64. and
You went from a Spectrum to a Commodore 64? Or
no, I had a Commodore 64 handed down to me from my sister, and then Christmas had a Spectrum. Daily Thompson's Decathlon.
That's it. Oh, do you remember the joystick on that?
Yeah, that's it.
That built up your right arm muscle.
Yeah.
So was mine. What was yours, Shane? He's got to say something like an Xbox One. Though,
iPhone 3.
Mine ran Windows 95 and I played Donald Duck on it. So not a clue.
Donald what?
Donald Duck.
Oh.
What was yours, Adrian?
Commodore 64 in a bin liner.
What did you find on the side of a road when you were looking for naughty magazines?
I don't know where it came from, but everyone got theirs in a box on Christmas Day. Mine was in a bin liner with no instructions. So it took me I don't know where my brother got it from, but it wasn't you. So I think we.
Do you know what? I was actually expecting you to say an Amiga then.
I did. I bought an Amiga after that. Amiga 32. What was it? Oh,
do you remember what the Amiga 3? No, that's a fish oil, isn't it?
No.
Did I
wanted a Dragon.
Atari?
I had an Atari. Yeah,
I had an Atari as well.
It was all a lot of money then. I remember, we couldn't afford a video and we rented it. And it was like
you guys had 8 tracks, didn't you, in your cars?
No, I'm not now. Dave did. Right, let's spin that coil before people ask where my computer came from in a bin liner.
Can you ask your brother for me?
He did tell me, but I can't say it on air.
Shane, what pinpointer do you use?
It's the same as what Adrian's going to give his dog.
A carrot?
Yeah.
I knew that.
Anusol.
You was then.
Anusol. Oh. A carrot.
A lamp.
What do you use, Steve?
A carrot, same.
Right. Okay.
What do you use, Adrian?
MI6.
What, is it secret?
No, XP MI6. But I've got 2 of my favourite pinpointers. One is a Quest one, which a really cheap Quest one, which has been going for years, and the XP MI6. I find they don't interfere with whatever machine I use. So some pinpointers interfere with some machines more than others, but I find the MI6 and the Quest one really, really good. One's like 40 quid and one's like 100 and something quid.
Young Steve, me love, are you a member of NCMD, FID, AMDS, etc., etc.? Just Detect, of course.
Yeah, NCMD, I'm a member of.
Shane?
NCMD, Just Detect, and AMDS.
You're the sort of person to have an AA and an RAC badge on your car.
And
just
a green flag.
Yeah, and a green flag. Yeah. Steve, have you got the NCMD app?
No, I haven't.
Did you know they had one?
No, I didn't actually.
No, they've got an app that you can use to record your fines now. So you can take a photograph of your fines and record them, and you can also go on their forum. Just thought I'd mention it because
and it's got all your insurance document details on there as well.
So rather than have
show me that, Shane.
Yeah,
I'm shit with phones and stuff like that. Shane does everything for me on it.
Shane even detects for him.
Yeah, the app's got you log on with your details and you've got your digital membership card and all your insurance details on there, which you can show. It's
I did have a lot of people show me on the dig on the weekend their digital one on the phone.
Really? Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. Oh, good.
Do you know what, Adrian? I'm just reading through some of your questions here, and there's one or two that just don't make sense.
They do, Dave. Everything makes sense.
What colour, if you could choose? What colour what?
Hair.
That
Annoying thing about detecting Shane.
Adrian.
Dave.
politics.
Ooh. I don't know of any politics within the hobby.
In what sense, Shane?
Hey,
In what sense? Politics as in machines, people, permissions?
people
Well-
bitching.
Yeah, but where do you get all that bitching from?
Look at
Facebook.
faces.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't look at it like me. What about you, Steve?
Green waste.
Yeah, good.
Nice.
Very, very good answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
You finding it worse recently?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
getting
a
worse,
tricky
isn't
one.
it? Yeah.
That Roman area we detect is just covered in it.
It's where we had the ode from. That was getting back to that. If it wasn't, we found the fibulas. I don't think we'd have gone back, would we, Shane, on that? It was
No,
that bad on
literally,
there.
it was luck, wasn't it? You found
Yeah,
that
yeah.
baby one, and it was like, oh
Yeah.
my god, there must be more.
Yeah, and we kept going then, didn't we? So
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
I'm going to take the Fifth Amendment, Adrian.
Sorry?
I'm going to take the Fifth Amendment. I'm not saying.
Oh.
Spin the coil.
Beep, 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 beep.
Tip for any new detectorists, Shane.
Dig every single hole. Every single one.
Steve?
same. I'd definitely say learn your machine, dig every hole. And that's the only way you learn it. It is the
I
best way to learn
started
it.
with a very cheap detector, and then because I knew nobody or nothing about the hobby at all, went for a Dr. Otech. And they have nice little things at the top that tell you that it's a ring pull, or whether it's a coin, or whether it's something else. So I dug every one that was a coin, and every single one was iron. So we kind of learned what was going on with the machine, and then I started to learn that it was actually a circle iron, or it was a sharp, deep piece of iron, and so on.
And the Dr. Otech was pop.
I think the other tip is don't give up as well. You know what I mean? Something will come good one day. Even if you're having a bad run of it, something will come good.
Adrian?
Record your finds. So whether you're finding a horseshoe or a silver denarius or a whatever, just record it and use your phone, an app. Just remember the location, because like all of us, we all have been detecting for many years, and quite often you don't remember where you found stuff. So if you go back to that permission, you need to know what you found and where you found it and when you found it, and also you need to record it as part of what we should do as a hobby. So just record stuff. And I look back at like my dad, who had a book and it had handwritten. So how the hell he did that in the field? Because we're all impatient. We get a signal, we dig it. Oh, it's good. Oh, it's bad, and then we move on. God, imagine writing it in a book. I couldn't be bothered. Now we got the technology, we got our phones, and we got apps. Just record it. That's
Think
what I
about
say.
all them detectorists who used to plot out the site and do it
Well,
by grid by grid.
Adrian, just getting back to that point, it does work, because when we returned to the field where we had the ord on the second weekend, I asked Shane where I had my first denarius from, and I just found the second one, and he went to where the first one was, and you walked in a straight line, didn't you, Shane? And that's when you found yours.
Yeah.
So it is a massive help, and it is.
Yeah,
because Shane records everything.
Yeah, I do. I tell you what, funny we should say that. I found an app, and I'm just trying it out at the moment. I think it's like £2 on the App Store, and it's called Finders Keepers, and it's an American guy who's written an app, and it's really basic, but it's like tracker. What's that one you got? What is it, Shane?
Tecto track.
It's like Tecto Track, but a lot more basic, but all what you need. So it follows you around the field and does like a line, and it shows what you find and stuff, and you can categorize it. You can report at the end of the year on what you found, where you found. So out of coins, where you found the coins. So yeah, it's called Finders Keepers on the App Store, American. So it's got some weird things in there, like sort of dimes and things. But yeah, I'm trying that out at the moment. But yeah, I highly recommend that. Sorry.
I've just my tip is to watch the Big Detective Show. I've just had a thought. What I forgot to tell you, Graham Stokes had to find the other day while we were detecting Adrian, and I've never ever seen one of these in my life. And we were all stumped, and we were like, "Oh, it must be something good. I've not seen one of them before." And it looked like two coins fused together. Steve, I'll let you tell him what it was. It was silver. It was two coins fused together. Steve, what was it?
The centre of a pound coin.
He pulled it up in front of me, and he goes, "I can't work this out. It looks silver, but it looks like two coins are joined together." So I had a look at it. Honestly, I agreed with him. It looked like two hammered coins fused together.
The silver centre of a pound coin. I've never heard of that. Have you, Adrian?
No.
No.
You have to have a Google of that now, see what you can see it. But it was
I have.
honestly mental.
Interesting. One more spin.
And
One
he
more
kept
spin.
leaning
The coil. Shane. Weird childhood hobby. Oh God, no, not Shane.
Oh God, this
He's
is
still,
gonna be
he's still a child, isn't he?
consistently writing letters to Jimmy Savile.
Yeah, cover that up
About
in that
milking a cow. Milking that cow blindfolded.
Jackie Joffrey's voice, Bill Fodder, you like the Pied Piper for Jimmy Savile. So
All right, yeah, move on. What was your weirdest hobby, Shane? Majorettes?
I used to love taking things apart and putting them back together.
What? Animals?
Your mum's toys.
Dave,
What?
computers. I used to take computers bits.
Oh.
I'd take my mini moto bits, my MIDI moto, I'd clean them, put them back together, see if it worked better. Loved it.
Did the animals that you took apart and put back together and cleaned work better?
They were just worms. You just cut them in half and put a bandage around them. They still work.
That wasn't a worm, Shane.
That's-
That was a small dog.
There's a medical condition there. What about you, Steve? What was your weirdest?
I don't know if you call it a hobby, but just I used to go around with like a jar collecting spiders out of edges and all. I don't know why. I used to always do that and just keep
Just
them.
because you're weird.
Yeah, no, yeah. I used to just keep them in the shed. My dad just go mad with me. He just put them under my bed and everything, like, you know what I mean? Just like in a jar, and then like wonder why they were dead in the morning because I just like put a lid on.
That was snails.
Yeah.
That's quite a weird hobby. Collecting spiders.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And then killing them.
I
Yeah.
used to do something illegal, which is illegal now. I used to collect birds' eggs like when I was young,
Yeah.
which, you know, totally wrong of me, but I did.
Yeah, people did. My granddad used to do it.
Yeah.
What was yours, Adrian?
Weird childhood hobby. I used to like shooting things a lot. I probably would say shooting things. And James, if he's in the chat, he was my neighbour. So his
He
family.
used to get shot a lot.
Well, I used to shoot at friends for fun. We were talking air rifles, and then it went on to shotguns and stuff. But I didn't shoot people with shotguns. But burning things, actually. Yeah, burning things. Yeah, fires. I used to like burning a hell of a lot. Sunday afternoon would scavenge the garden looking for wood, start a fire, and then an Airfix model or one of my action men, like Eagle Eyes, his eyes had gone funny or a leg had come off. I'd burn him.
James.
No, what?
James.
No. James used to come ask if he could come round. If he's in the chat, he'll. Yeah, burning ants with a magnifying glass.
Sid who sets fire to the toys and sets them on fire with dynamite.
Just read something in the chat which is inappropriate. Sorry.
Steve, can you see the chat?
No.
Thankfully.
No, something very. Don't.
Eagle Eye DJI said Adrian shot my football as a kid. I've never forgiven him. Tony's fries were brilliant.
Oh, that's my dad. Yeah, my dad used to come and join me, and we'd make big fries. Sorry, James. Yeah, I used to shoot into his garden, his football, and also his sister Vicky had a space opera, and I shot that as well, and it punctured it. So yeah, I was a bit of a pickle with guns when I was younger and burning things.
I had a mate shoot a football with an air rifle, with like the feathery end on it.
Oh, darts. That was probably a Dyna SP or a GAT gun.
So let me get this right. You're a Cockney.
No.
You burnt things and you shot things.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have anything to do with any Range Rovers and people dying at all?
Oh, don't even go there. That's just down the road from me. Dave, what was your weird hobby? I bet it was something like majorettes, like I said, or
collecting maps.
I'll shock you now.
Rubber collector.
I was in Chester Cathedral Choir.
He was one in the little cupboard eating cakes.
That explains a lot.
Being touched a lot. I also used to cut out anything Liverpool related, Liverpool Football Club related, and stick it in a scrapbook as well. I had scrapbooks and seasons of Liverpool reports from newspapers and from the early to mid 80s, I think. Oh, and then wrestling. I used to collect wrestling magazines.
Sorry, Tidy Treasure Hunters just summed up everything: making dens, bottle digging, and making go-karts. That's all I did. I made go-karts, bottle digging, and making dens. Kids don't.
Do you know what? Still to this day, I've never been bottle digging. When Shane had a bottle up a couple of months ago with me, and no, it was Ben. And when Graham had that bottle up in the video before, I was beside myself. Yet my brother and the guy over the road used to go potholing, and they used to discover loads of cave systems that they've discovered, and loads of them had bottles down there. Garage used to be full of old bottles that they'd found kept potholing.
Sad, isn't it? Because the only bottles you find now got tin foil on top.
I used to love exploring as well. I used to go disappear all over the place, me exploring.
Yeah.
Adrian, do you know anything about what's under the topsoil? Like if I was to say to you, you were to dig a really good signal and you dug the topsoil away and it was orange sand, it's not a building sand, isn't it?
Well, there's so many different variations over the years because, you'll go in one field and the topsoil's totally different to the field the other side of the ditch. And that it could be... I think with modern machinery in the last 20, 30 years, farmers move a lot of soil, dump stuff, and like Steve was saying, green waste, that accounts for it. If I go on a permission that's got a lot of green waste, I'll just run a lower frequency. I'm not interested in anything the first 5-6 inches. I'll detect deep over that, which I've been, funny enough, playing with the Deus 2 at the moment on a similar sort of thing on that. Not the deep mode on the Deus, but something sort of similar to that. But yeah, so I mean, I'm not an archaeologist. I never will be, but it is interesting. I mean, if I'm driving to work and there's a hole being dug by the side of the road and you're sitting at traffic lights, I'm constantly staring at it, just looking at the different layers. I think it's fascinating. I love it. Just each layer. It's like a ring on a tree, isn't it? The rings of a tree. Yeah. You can tell a lot about that, whether there was a drought or wet summer. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was curious on that dig. I had a cracking signal. I asked someone with the Deus 2, someone with the Deus 1 to go over it as well to see if it was iron. They were still saying it was a cracking signal. I probably dug a foot down, topsoil was removed, but the sand underneath, what started to come out was like sandstone sand. It was bright yellow and dark yellow in it, but I kept digging, and obviously with running that at the time, I couldn't really dig any deeper, so I just filled it in. But I'll come back to that at a different time.
It's probably a bomb.
Remember me telling you about Middle of a pound coin, Adrian.
You are joking.
See Queenie there? Yeah. And that's it, where we were like, why is it double? And that's the other side of it.
Wow.
So you can see how confused that particular bit was.
Yeah. That's
That's
interesting.
carefully cleaned it though, wasn't it? It was even worse at first.
God, I've never seen that before.
There you go.
You do find you go on a, I don't know, football pitch or something like that. The amount of pound coins that fall out of people's pockets and you dig. I think one day, mate James dug 14 in a morning on a old rugby field. We found, yeah. Sorry, I've just got to let the dog out. Sorry.
Dog's done a trump again. It's kicking it up the arse now. Get out! Get out! Yeah, you stinking bloody thing!
Too late. Too late.
Go and get the housing manager to free some carrots.
She's on it. Yeah.
Would you believe it's 9:30 already?
Oh.
Where did the time go? See, Steve, I told you we'd be easy on you. It's just like three people. Yeah. Some mates chatting on
I've
Zoom.
been worried about this all day. I have.
Don't be daft. Like Dave said, it's just
all
like,
day.
Yeah.
it's like a Zoom call with your mates, and we're fortunate that we have 8 or 9 people join us to watch it, or 6.
We went as high as 7 tonight, Adrian.
7. Ah,
yeah. Ron was watching.
Yeah.
Good old Ron.
Good old Ron.
All good stuff, and that's interesting.
Good old Ron, who was completely and utterly beside himself to meet Digger Dawn. And I mean, he was beside himself.
Yeah, he was.
I'll tell you what, though, Ron. How old is he, Steve? Just to make sure.
70.
And he did so much for us at that dig.
He's brilliant, mate. I hope I'm like that at that age. I tell you, mate.
And he was up and down, detected everywhere as well.
Yeah.
Ron's carrying the chairs back in to put him all away.
Brilliant, mate.
I don't think you can find many hobbies that don't overexert you, but keep you mentally and physically going as detecting does.
And he found more than us in single frequency when we were all using multi.
Single's not dead. Like I said the other day, there's a time and a place for these frequencies, and single frequency and multi, it's a right old kettle of fish. So,
and can I also say thank you to John and Laura Wells, who came along to the dig from the AMDS. They were the only people to bring me cake. They were Viennese whirls, so they couldn't sort of quantify as a biscuit, but they were very nice nonetheless.
I sold me my chocolates. I brought a bag of chocolates. And
you left them in my car. You took the bananas and left the chocolates. Still here. Some of them I didn't like.
At the end of the day, I said, "Where's the
Some of them."
So I took them all, me bunching on and chucked in one back in the car.
The reason you put them all in the car because nowhere else put them. Wasn't leaving them on the floor.
Steve, are you going to Detectable or Rodney Cook this year?
Yes, mate. Yeah, definitely going. Yeah, I am.
You've had too much. You've had too much Stella there. We discussed this earlier.
We'll get him on the moonshine. Then,
all 4 of us are going to be at Rodney Cook.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot. Sorry. Well, Steve's drinking red wine and Stella.
Yeah. Love me red wine. Hey, have you ever had one of those aerators for the red wine?
There's a whole show on this, right? You can get one on Amazon for £5, and you can also get one in like Sainsbury's for like, I saw somewhere the other day it's like 20 quid, and I'm confused, but I have got one, and it does make a difference, but I've lost it.
It does, mate. It does, mate. I love them. I do. Tell you. At first, I just thought it was a gimmick, but it saves you like air, and it's brilliant.
Sorry. Really Ron did force cakes on me. Sorry, Ron forced cakes on me. I put them in my bag as well. I forgot about that. Sorry, Ron. What's an aerator?
No, it's basically it aerates.
you pour your wine through it, and it sucks air through the sides and aerates it. You know, like you have a carafe for the wine breathe. It saves you doing that. It just instantly puts air in it and gives it body. It's lovely.
Flat
Really
cap.
nice.
Flat
Highly
cap,
recommend
rip
it. I got one off Amazon, I think, Steve, for £5
Yeah.
or something, and it's really good. Really, really good.
I don't know how
I
much
had
mine was. My son
Does
brought
it-
it me, so I don't know.
Does it work on the white wine and all that cack as well?
Actually,
Prosecco?
You'll have to
What?
speak to
Yeah.
ladies, Dave. I don't
Does it
know.
work on Prosecco?
It's a girl's drink.
Does it
so
work on lager?
Pineapple rum.
Try it with lager. Dare you? Double
No,
dare physical
no.
challenge. Physical
But
challenge,
Sprite,
God say no.
we did a Sprite challenge at the minute.
The what challenge?
You're not seeing the Sprite challenge.
No, I'm an adult.
Right.
Don't
we'll
do
it.
TikTok.
Me and you will do it.
I don't play with TikTok. I'm an
You drink
adult.
a full bottle of Sprite without burping. Or try to.
A bottle or a can?
A small bottle, not like a 2 litre.
Yeah, do that. No problem.
I bet you
It's-
won't. I bet you
That's a
20
marketing
quid, so-
ploy, though. That'll make people buy it and drink it quick and not enjoy it.
It's Sprite. It's not enjoyable anyway. 7-Up's better.
Yeah,
I
70s.
think the next video there will be a Sprite challenge on there of me and Dave.
But you might have
Shane drinking it and Dave throwing it all back up again.
Shane, you might have a bottom trump instead of a burp and ruin your video.
Dave might just ruin it generally anyway with lava from his guts. Anyway, let's go to bed. Not together, obviously.
Yeah.
That'd be a bit weird on Shane's behalf because Kim's there.
She's gone outside, leave it to it.
All right, then.
Can I
Right.
just say thank you to Uzi, Foddy, and Ricardo for all them stickers they gave me. The top men. Never met them before, and dead nice chaps they were. Ricardo and Foddy.
He
Brilliant.
only gave me one. Father, where's
Did
my
he?
other stickers?
There was a lot of nice people there that we hadn't met before.
There was, mate. Yeah, brilliant. Lovely to meet them all, to be honest. Yeah, it was.
Oh, John Clayton, bottle of Buckfast and Bailey's challenge. I'm up for that one. You ever had Buckfast, Adrian?
Yes. Yeah. God, that'd mess me up.
True story. True story. First dig I ever put on, who won the bottle of Buckfast?
Digger Dawn.
Digger Dawn.
Well,
Brilliant, isn't she?
Right.
He's got a diggy sticker.
Steve, thank you very much for coming on
No,
tonight.
Thank
Thank
you for
you.
having me.
For doing
Thank
it
yourself, Shane.
largely at the show. And Shane, thank you very much for all what you do, mate. And apologies to your wife. And David, thank you. And I like your hat.
Yeah, I want one of them.
It looks like he's 17 gone wrong, doesn't he? You can't hear me, so I can say what we want. Yeah, it looks lovely in that. Yeah, it looks really nice. Suits you, Dave. Right. Let's go to bed.
Very well, gentlemen. See you all next week at 8
See
o'clock with Dark Knight Detectorist. Good night, everyone.
See you.
Good night.
Ciao.